Hello, this is David Groninger here in Seattle, Washington, and the title of this talk is How to Unlimit Your Journey of Life. How to unlimit your journey in life. And I'm talking about the outward journey and the inward journey. Now, the outward journey is something you can more easily measure, perhaps, like your career, your job, the progression along your particular business path, growing a business, your schooling, your family life, falling in love, getting married, raising a family, the activities in your community. These are measurable kinds of things. This is the outward journey. Then the inner journey are things maybe more difficult to measure, but still can be sensed or understood. And these are things like your ability to be more present, ability to be more aware of yourself, aware of others, your communication skills, your listening skills, capacity for greater patience and compassion, and things like this. So there is the inner journey and there is the outer journey. And the thing that I think is fascinating about this is that both journeys can be unlimited. Both can be unlimited. So the question is why do we sometimes feel less abundant in this world? Why do we feel like there's only so much peace of mind we can have, or only so much abundance or worldly things we can have? Why do we find ourselves sometimes in limitation? Well, I think that one of the causes of this is a self-imposed limitation, and I believe that the basis for this is because we're looking way ahead toward a possibility, but we're looking at it from the perspective of our current capacity. We're looking at it from the perspective of our current resources, our current educational level or skill level, of our current set of people that we know who can help us or be influential in helping us get to where we want to go. We're looking at it from what we currently have. For example, if you wanted to drive your car from Seattle to the Grand Canyon, and it's a beautiful trip in the springtime, in my opinion, and yet you knew that your car could only go about 300 miles on one tank of gas, and you knew that it was more than 300 miles to get to the Grand Canyon, what if you came to the conclusion, well, I guess I can't go because I only have enough capacity to go 300 miles. That's all the gas that can fit in my gas tank. Well, obviously you wouldn't say you wouldn't go, because you know there's another gas station, a number of gas stations that will happily take your money, that you could happily fill your tank again and go again. And however many times you need to fill up that gas tank, 3 or 4 times, you'll eventually get to the Grand Canyon and have a great time. So in our inner journey as well, we might feel like we need to make a great and grand, commitment, or a very deep-seated kind of create a great, purpose or mission in life, in order that we can, make strides and really get to great places. Maybe we think we need to live in the Himalayas with some great, guru for 5 years in order to find out about peace of mind, or about patience, or whatever. Well, we don't need to do any of those things, because just like you don't need to have, 10 gas tanks in order to get to the Grand Canyon from Seattle, Washington, you don't need to start your inner journey either with any grandiose kind of a fuel tank of mental or spiritual or emotional energy or insight. You can start with just one. You can start right from where you are by reading one book on how to be a little bit happier, by taking one class about how to meditate or do stretching exercises or yoga. You can start by going to one meetup group with people who are working toward becoming happier or more competent in some personal skill in life or something. So the idea is that we sometimes limit our progress. We limit how far we think we can go, and we thereby also then limit on a daily basis what we think we can accomplish, because we're looking at the ultimate journey from a perspective of where we are right now, of who we are right now. But the thing is, as we progress further, we become a different person. And here's the real key. We find more resources on the way. Just like you can find gas stations between here and the Grand Canyon. In the inner journey and in any outward journey in life, you can find more resources on the way. In your career, starting a business, job, or whatever, you can find more education on the way to get to the next level. In your personal life, you can find the skills on the way to get along better with people. You can become more learned on how to be a loving person. You can do all these things on the way. You don't have to be perfect in order to find a perfect relationship. You can start right where you are and along the way pick up the skills, find out what you need to learn, and learn these things along the way. In fact, so many of the opportunities and resources are not even known to you when you start. So the idea of limiting your journey, or limiting how far you can go in either your inner or outward journey, limiting it because you can't see the resources from where you are now, well, you're closing the door to all kinds of a very adventurous and exciting kind of a way of living. So here's the other interesting thing. The problems and obstacles that also present themselves in the inner and outer journey of life. Be welcoming to the problems and obstacles as well, knowing full well that you can use them to take as an opportunity to learn about becoming more patient. Use the obstacles to take a break, to take a pause, a refresher, and to rejuvenate and to learn about that obstacle, so that the next time that obstacle happens, you're a little bit more prepared on how to deal with it. Furthermore, every time you pick up some skills on how to deal with an obstacle, a lot of these same skills are applicable in how to deal with opportunities and other things too. So you're basically making an investment in your training, education, and your skill level every time you come to a barrier, a roadblock, where you need to examine it, learn about it, and find out who can help you, or how can you get around it, how can you look at things differently so you can make some headway. So that's basically the topic of this talk. It's how to unlimit your inner and outward journey of life. And the way you do it, or at least this simple idea that I'm suggesting, is that you do not set a limitation, or do not set a particular ultimate measurement of a goal, or how far you think you're going to get, or do not define your end result from the perspective of your current resources and current capacity, but instead be open to the idea that you're going to experience an accumulated awareness of resources and of education, of money and friends, influential people, new skills, more wisdom, more knowledge. You're going to accumulate that along the way, and the ability to let go of the any excess baggage and of the accumulated maybe mental or emotional energy that is no longer needed. The ability to let go of that along the way is also helpful. Interestingly, in addition to having like a fuel tank where you need to replenish the fuel tank on a car, in any kind of an outward journey or inward journey, you might need to replenish your energy level, a renewed commitment to your purpose or mission in life, things like this. But in addition to the energy, there's also the idea of a tune-up. Because even if your car had plenty of gas, what if there is something out of alignment? What if one of the wheels hit a big bump, a big rock on the road, and now your alignment is off? That could cause you problems, along the way. Or what if your engine became out of tune and now you're using a lot more gas, the engine is working a lot harder than it needs to work, you're wearing out the engine faster, things like this. So you might have to get a tune-up even along the way of this journey in your car. Well, in the same way in your inner journey, maybe you need to get into a realignment, kind of a tune-up of your thinking patterns, a tune-up of your paradigms or perspectives, a tune-up of the way you process your emotions and feelings in life. So consider it's not only the energy or fuel in unlimiting your inward and outward journey. It's not just continually getting new fuel, but it's also finding out, hey, when are you out of tune? When are you as a human being, whether it's your health, your feelings, your mind, your thinking, whether it's this part of your life that's out of tune, or maybe it's your people skills, the way you're working with people, or something in the outward journey a little bit out of tune. You're doing business, trying to offer a product or service that's no longer in demand, and you're struggling and you don't know why. Well, you know, you can get in tune here by getting some coaching or a business consulting or something, and they'll help you fine-tune your business so now you're offering something at least in a way that has a current demand enough for you to stay in business. So the other point is that you can use your inner and outer journey to help each other. Each one can act in a synergistic, beneficial relationship to each other. As you progress on the outward journey, become more financially successful, become more competent and capable in your skills at work to the point where you're now the manager, you're teaching others, becoming more responsible as a family person, in raising a family. All these things in the outward journey, you'll find that a lot of these insights and levels of achievement are transferable to working on the inner journey. You'll also find that as you work on the inner journey, a lot of the skills and insights you pick up are applicable to the outward journey. So each one helps the other one. If you get stuck on your inner journey and you're just confused, you're sick and tired of reading a self-help book, and you've been doing it too much, don't worry about it. Maybe just get a second job in addition to your other one. Do a little bit more on the outer journey for a while, because there'll be a time when you'll hit a roadblock, and now you'll have something else to use as an opportunity for study and for learning, and that will be a bit of your inner journey connected with that. So each one helps the other. And if you get stuck on any particular one, just realize, well, maybe spend a little bit of time on the other one. If you find you're getting burned out in your business, in your profession, in your marriage, in your social life, if you're getting burned out in some part of your outward journey, well, maybe that's a time to spend a little bit of time on the inner journey. Maybe you've left something behind. Maybe there's a particular skill level that you've bypassed, or maybe you've accumulated some habits, some ways of looking at things that are no longer serving you, and you're using it to work against you in what you're doing. Whatever it is, by spending some time on the inner journey, you can get in tune here, which will then help your intunement better with the outer journey. So that's the basis for this talk, how to unlimit your inner and outer journey. And it's by not limiting how far you can go in either one by your current capacity, because you're going to find fuel along the way. You're going to find the resources along the way. And also, keep in mind to keep in touch with how you're doing. Have some way of measuring if you're in alignment in both the outer and inner journey, so you can get a tune-up in the way, a tune-up on the way as needed, so that the friction of life does not wear you out, so you do not become burned out in either one of these journeys, or get too discouraged, or just spinning your wheels, you know. And so I hope you've enjoyed this talk called How to Unlimit the Journey of Life, and it pertains to the inner and outer journey Both journeys can help each other. And keep in mind the fuel tank on both journeys and having a tune-up on both journeys. And I hope these ideas might find some use for you. I want to thank you very much for listening. This is David Groninger in Seattle, Washington, saying thank you very much.